Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Money Talks with Ayanna Smith. Listen, have you wanted to know more about Financial Planning Month and what's the big hoopla and what is everything all about? Well, listen, we're going to talk a little bit about Financial Planning Month and what that entails, and just some things, give you some tips and tidbits on what you can do to get yourself ready and have an ironclad plan in place. We will be right back in just a few moments. Well, hello, hello, hello. We are back with Money Talks with Ayanna Smith. Yeah, I guess I'm singing a little bit tonight, but for those who don't know me, my name is Ayanna Smith, and I am a financial professional slash life insurance broker, and I am in the space of helping people make and save money, but really helping that professional woman, helping her really drill down and get to where she needs to be. Talking about, from that businesswoman to the dualpreneur, the woman who is a homemaker. Yes, even homemakers need to get their things in order and figure out how to get their stuff in alignment. Because oftentimes, if I just side note on that, the homemaker is really someone who uh, works and doesn't necessarily go out of the home, but the jobs that they do all the way together really equal up to probably about 10 different salaries. And so, with that, it's all about helping that professional woman get things together. But this afternoon, evening, night, whenever you're watching the replay, make sure that you share this out. I want to share a little bit about Financial Planning Month. Now, you all know my love and my heart is talking about life insurance because that is a part of the financial plan, financial plan, financial plan. We cannot have it without functioning appropriately in that space with life insurance because it goes hand in hand with the things that we have to do when we're planning and doing proper planning. Okay, because so many times we hear of, or hear about different stories where people weren't all the way together, even from, from the minimal job person all the way to the celebrities. We hear that they didn't have this in place, that in place. They didn't have their wills and trusts and different things in order, and therefore things were left in disarray. But let me tell you, we need to start where we can start, and that's at the beginning, whatever our beginning is. And we need to make sure that we have some things in place. So I just wanted to share some general things that we need to have in place to make sure that we are on our journey to financial planning and good sound financial planning. Now, I will precursor with this. I believe that everyone should have a team of people. And you may say, well, what's that team of people? That team of people, I believe, of course, is going to be of course, your financial professional, life insurance broker. Then you also need to have, your doctor on your team, because talking about that, if you have any health concerns, you want to make sure that you're being properly prepared, planned, and understanding what you are doing and what you're going through, or maybe embarking upon. You could be completely healthy, which that is even better, to be completely healthy. But when it's if something does arise, we want to make sure that we are ready for that. And also, you need to have, if you have not thought about it or don't really think that it's important, have an attorney, and also a planner, a funeral planner, or a funeral mortuary science professional to give you some guidance on how to get things in order and secure things. And of course, like I said, the financial professional, which would be me, helping you through that life insurance portion of things to make sure that you have enough life insurance and coverage when that time arises, and even having that life insurance coverage to take care of you when And if you get sick with heart attack, cancer, stroke, things of that nature, you are covered, protected, and you're ready to not have such a burden on yourself as well as your family members, or if it's someone has to come in and take care of you. So let's get right into some of the things that we're going to confer and talk about. And I wanted to bring up, of course, I have some of my notes here, but some of the things that you need to think about when you are looking at planning for let's say plan just doing that financial planning, doing that tune up, because October is financial planning month. But I have a shameless heart and a shameless plug for making sure that we often talk about life insurance, because you cannot go wrong with it, because you can do so many things with it. It's not only a part of the plan to help you when you are passing away, yes, but it also will help you to even plan your retirement and plan for children's college and plan for those unexpected things, or down the road if there are any furloughs. Different things that life insurance can do are amazing. So let's connect and let's sit down and talk about that. All right, so here we go. One of the first things that we are going to look at, that we need when we are planning financially, we need to have a budget. We need to know what's going in, what's coming out. And sometimes that's going to shift from situation to situation. So it's really like, make a thorough budget, and then detail your anticipated earnings, because sometimes we know what we potentially can earn, especially if we have extra jobs, or we do extra things. In addition to, if we have a W-2, we do extra things. We know how much that's going to be. So we do anticipated earnings and anticipated expenses, meaning that you're spending. Whether you do that annually, monthly, that would be a good rule of thumb. What's your monthly or biweekly? If you need to break it down that concise, do that, because understanding your income and expenses with a budget enables all of us to allocate those resources and effectively, and spot opportunities for cutting costs or growth oriented investments. Because here's the thing, sometimes we realize, I know I've realized, what, I really don't need that particular subscription, so I'm going to cut that because I have something that's similar. So it's no need of me paying for those two items. And $10, $15 a month add up, add up, and add up. And we don't even realize that that money is coming out. But at the end of the year, or at the end of the month, we realize, oh my goodness, when we add everything up, I could have paid a little bit more on like a light bill or phone bill or something of that nature, because we know those are the things that we most definitely need, most definitely need. And now when we're talking about a phone, that's just a part of, that's like an appendage. That's an extension of our fingers, our phones. And so we do business on them, and it's a handheld computer, and on and on and on. So we make sure we take care of that. So we want to get that budget in place as we are looking to be financially fit with our financial planning. Since it's this is not Life Insurance Awareness Month, that's celebrated in September. But I say shameless plug, life insurance is to be celebrated 365 days of the year. Okay. Then the next thing we need to look at having would be an emergency fund. And I was looking and reading, and put together. I have this little thing that will help me to save $1,000. Like, you put so much money away and break that down. So let's connect if you want to, find out more about that little booklet that I have to do that. That will help you to kind of get yourself jump started to saving, 500, $1,000 really quickly within a month, and seeing how you can do that and put that away for yourself, just so you won't have to swipe that credit card in case you have to get a tire. A tire, goes down, has a tear or burst, then you're not so shifted out of place to have to go digging into credit cards, or trying to gather up money, garner up money for things. Have that way. But most people get into the emergency fund. Most people say create that as a backup fund, planned, plan, in case of unforeseen financial difficulties. To try to put 3 to 6 months worth of spending aside in a convenient account. And that's why I say sometimes, if that's a concern, then that extra job or that extra, sometimes people that said their hobby, their hustle, what have you, how they pin that, their business, additional income can go along to naming so much of the percentages of what you bring in to put it into an emergency fund so it can build up and build up quickly so that you will have that safety net. And so if you have an emergency fund, financial setbacks, of course, will stay within your long-term financial objectives. So, if you have that, then if you have to use it, the whole goal is to go back in and replenish. And, we may have to do some, what we say, ride sharing, some food, going picking up food and delivering it, whatever it takes to get ourselves to where we need to be until if we're business owners, our businesses kick off and really, we allocate a certain amount to, put in those expenditure lines in that budget, goes back to the budget to make sure that we are covering ourselves in the emergency fund line. All right. So let's see. I'm getting all excited. All right. The next thing, debt management. Create a plan. Create a plan to manage and pay off any current obligations efficiently. So some people say, rule of thumb, they'll say look at the amount that you have in your balances and look at the interest rates and maybe or tackle the one that has the highest interest rate or the higher interest rate or the one that because some people do keep certain cards because they can get points and things of that nature. So you have to look at what's going to be best for you, what's going to work for you, and then also another rule of thumb to keep your balances 30% below whatever that actual credit limit is. So we know that if you're saying keep it at 30%, then you can't spend up to all the way up to the max. And even I even heard I was reading this yesterday. I was reading that we even have to look at if you charge, don't even charge it all the way up, each month, even if you're going to pay it off, still keep it at that 30% rule of thumb. So with that, that's a whole different mindset and way of thinking anyway. And as we continue with debt management, of course, we're looking for, I was insert this, looking for different people who can come on and speak to the credit and whether it be business or personal, and speak to some of the other financial things that they go to in depth so that we can talk more about emergency funds and savings and how our retirement accounts can really work for us. So we're looking for those particular people who have expertise in those arenas as well. So with the debt management, create a plan to manage to pay off any current obligations efficiently. Credit card debt, loans, and other liabilities fall under this category. So prioritize, like I said, those high interest loans first, and then continue to make your regular payments. So I didn't add that. Make your regular payments on your other credit cards if you have multiples, and then take care of those commitments. And as you pay off that one that has the high interest first, then of course you roll it, and people call it what they say, like you do an avalanche or snowball, and make sure you just roll it over into and pay what you were paying on that account to get it down, along with paying on the next one, combining those payments and knocking it down even faster. So that makes sense. You can put a one in the comments, in the chat, and all that. And we'll just keep on moving. If you have any questions, please, please, please put them in the comments so that we will know and hear what you're talking about. So, all right. Absolutely. Great, Samantha. That is awesome. Yes, working on getting 3 months ahead. Absolutely. And we have to focus on how we're going to attack that and plan that. Only you know what you're doing to get yourself in order and just say, I'm going to put this money on this. Is like you earmark it. You earmark your money and knowing that this is where you're going to put it. So that is an awesome thing. Absolutely. So moving on to the next thing, once we have our budgeting, budget a listed emergency fund, then our debt management, okay? Then we're going to look at some investment planning. And investment planning, first of all, just starts out on a personal level. Develop a well thought out investing strategy based on your financial objectives. So, you want to look at the level of risk tolerance because everybody in that risk tolerance means that some people are very, they don't mind risking it all. They put all the money out there, and something they said, just help me make the money, make the money, make the money. But then, it's like then some things you may put your money in, they make a lot of money, but you'll lose a lot of money just as fast. There's some things that you have to look at. And there's some that are moderate. They do a mix. You do put something aggressive, something kind of midway, and then something that's going to be steady Eddie. So to look at that, I would say look at your level of risk and time horizon. So, how fast do you want to achieve certain goals? Are you going to do it for the long haul? Now, I would say when you're looking at things like retirement, even though we know that traditional retirement, probably as we knew it just 10 years ago, does not look anyway like it's going to look 10 years in the future, even 5 years in the future, because the age keeps going up. And after a while, the age is going to be 100 or so to retire. Who in the world is going to be doing that? Now we are living longer and we're healthier. Yes. However, we want to make sure that we are not working our entire lives and then don't have any time to do anything else but take our rest at the end of when we say, here's our gold watch, goodbye. Okay, we even know that our retirement is not even looking the same way. So make sure that you develop a well thought out investing strategy based on your objectives. As again, I said, your level of risk, time horizon, and also diversify your assets among several types. So that's where I do insert that you can put your money. We don't call it a necessary investment because we usually look at total stock market oftentimes when you talk about investment or investment properties with the real estate. But you can put your money aside if structured properly into whole life or dividends or mutually money making life insurance policies. And so that's where, like I said, that's my area of expertise where I can help you in that portion of your planning because you do need to diversify. And if you are looking at different things, 401ks, 403bs, 401ks, 403bs, 457s are all invested into the stock market. So it's only one stock market. It's just, again, where you want your risk level to lie and understand where to place that money and what stocks are really up, down, and really making, major gains or just kind of lying there, you know, for lack of a better word, chilling or relaxing. Okay. All right. And make sure that you talk to your planner about that who handles those um, stock stock options. But like I said, when it comes to the insurance part, let's talk about that so we can see what will help us long term. Because you know what, compound interest is going to work for us, especially if we leave money in. It's just guaranteed to work for us because it's being constant, it's steady, and it's not losing out. Okay. All right. So look at our next one. I hope we're doing good and you're learning and you're hearing. And if you have any questions, like I said, let's just make sure we are talking and awesome, awesome. Yeah, thank you, Lady Patricia. Yes, financial planning is so important to understand. Just recently understood the difference. Yes, between retirement planning and income. Yes, there are differences. There are differences, and oftentimes when we're on regular W-2 jobs, we do not get the fullness of that. We don't get the full understanding because it's just put your money here and oh, you can put $50 here. And you're like, wait a minute. Sometimes you have to be more aggressive, but everybody's plan is going to be specific to their situation. So that is why it's so important to talk about the stuff sometimes that we just say, oh, we'll look at it later. And even life insurance policies. When I help people, I said, if you already have life insurance policies, I'll do a free look over for you. If you're good, keep what you have because nobody is just trying to switch you out just to switch you out. But don't be too stuck that you do not listen to the probability of possibly needing to add more insurance on or update what you already have, because you may have gotten a term policy and now you need something that's going to hold you. Or if you're going to say, hey, I'm going to save more money, so I'll have stuff in place, but I'll just get me another term. You have to figure out what's going to be the best scenario for your family and for yourself. So that's why I always share, connect with me at askayanna.com. We can schedule a complimentary consultation and go from there. Okay. Go from there to there, up high. Okay. So let's look at the next thing that we have on after we have our investment planning. We have our retirement planning, and we're coming into listen, we're about to land this plane in just a few, but we're coming into retirement planning, and that is when we set money aside in life insurance policies, retirement accounts, or individual retirement accounts, well, as IRAs, to help us prepare for retirement. And of course, it looks different sometimes where if you have a W 2, I would say the W 2ers, your employer may match some of the money that you put in. They may offer, some perks because you are their employee, but make sure that you are paying close attention with their matching. Also make sure that you're paying close attention on how their life insurance works, because sometimes the life insurance you have on your job, you are not able to carry that with you if you ever left the job. And sometimes people don't stay on jobs for a great length of time, and then there they are without, because they thought because of that group rate, that cheaper price or what have you, they looked at price and not value. And sometimes you have to look at the value over the cost, because at the end the value will outweigh the cost and will give you better it will give you better dividends. It will work out better for your situation in the long run if you can look at it overarching and not just for the right now. Okay, so you have to determine the amount you'll need to contribute consistently and make a wise investment, to make that wise investment decision to reach your goals and objectives so you can maintain your chosen standard of living in retirement. So if we want to live currently like we do in retirement, then we're going to sometimes, like I said, either you find another job, you find a hobby, you find your gift, and your gift will be your increase. Your gift will be your money maker that you can put the money away and split it up for. I'm going to put some of it away for investing for myself, and I'm going to put some of it away to put back into my business. And we look at then turning that money over because we're selling things and investing and getting that passive income from properties that we have purchased and all of that. That will help to offset the living in retirement. But then, of course, even in that, we have to even think about wills and trusts and different things of that nature. So it's even a mindset shift that when we talk about that, how we can really make all these things work for us where it won't be so cumbersome and burdensome at the end, because we don't want to be left with a lot of debt as we get older. We want to be able to not only live the way we did or have that money coming in, but not have all the debt, because the ideal is to pay off the debt and increase our money. And therefore, if we decrease the debt, our money will increase. We give ourselves a raise by decreasing the debt. All right. So, like I said, any comments, please make sure that you put them in the chat. Hello, hello, hello. How you doing? Awesome. Good to see Mr. Damon up here. Awesome, awesome, great. All right. So now let's go for our last one as we're coming into our final descent. We have to look at tax planning to lawfully reduce our tax obligations and optimize our tax approach. We have to look at tax efficient investment structures. Let me get that right. Structures, deductions, and credits to maximize our income and our assets. It is all about the way that we do our allocations, the things that we place our monies in. Are they making money for us tax free, or is everything that we're working with going to be taxable? Are we going to have that what they call the gains statements coming in, which gains are good. I mean, we want to make gains, but at the same time, any gains we make on things have to be taxed or will be taxed. And then I often share this story. Had some family members, retiring, and then they were wondering, well, why are they taking taxes out of my retirement check? Well, see, that's what I said about going back up and thinking about how we are not talked to appropriately about how money works and how taxes works, and it really can be confusing because here was the premise that I and that a retiree was under. I worked all these years. They're taking money out to put over in the account for me so that when I retire, I could get a check. Yes, you get a check, but you know what? That money was taken out before taxes hit it. And therefore, it is as if you are getting hit for taxes the first time. Now, let's think about this. What do you think that the tax bracket or the taxation was the same 20 years ago as it is now? So if you're looking to retire and your money has been taken out all 20, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, and it started way back at that beginning mark, then the money that was taken away to save for our retirement is now going to be taxed on today, today's current date, not 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. And therefore, that's why we always have to concurrently, if we are getting money taken out of our checks, or if we're putting money into IRAs and different things like that, we want to make sure that we have another strategy that is going to allow us to double, triple, quadruple that if needed. And if we and put it all together so that it will overall help us with the taxation or not being taxed and also outpacing inflation. So those are some of the things we have to think about. And like I said, everybody's situation is different. Everybody's situation needs a specific plan addressed and placed upon it. So just make sure that if you have questions and you don't know where to start, at least just start by asking what you are thinking about. And I would say this, if you don't have life insurance coverage, that would probably be a great place to start. And even if you have it on your job, I would encourage you, like I had to learn, that that was not going to be enough and that was not going to be fully appropriate. As long as my health was good, I really needed to seek getting my own personal life insurance for me. I had to do that so that I would have it in place and so that it would be there if I need it. And just like we do car insurance and we make sure that we cover our smartphones and all that good stuff, we make sure we have all those things covered. But just know we are more than a commodity, much, much better. We're not an inanimate object. We are a human being, living person who needs to make sure that that coverage is there and that we're planning dualistically. So, like I said, life insurance can be a great asset and a part of, excuse me, part of your planning. So, I hope that you got something out of this. Put some hearts and comments and let me know if you received some great nuggets. We'll do a quick recap starting from the bottom, which was the tax planning, going back up, retirement planning, investment planning, debt management, emergency fund, and your budgeting. And so we want to make sure that if you have any further questions, you connect with me, Ayanna M. Smith, life insurance broker. I'm a speaker and a coach as well. I'm also available to do workshops and speaking events to share about how we need to get some things in order. I love talking to our savvy women, but oftentimes it turns into just a whole different session to help us just to think and grow and be empowered, or speak for fraternities, sororities, any of your civic events, church events, so that we can do it virtually and in person. So, we don't throw Zoom out and all the other streaming platforms, because that is still a great way to connect with people all over the US and abroad. Okay. So I love, love, love that everybody has come on. Hope you gained some knowledge, and we look forward to seeing you very, very soon. This is Ayanna Smith, Money Talks with Ayanna Smith, and I want you to remember that money is always talking, even if we aren't talking about it. So let's make sure that we continue to talk about our money, we continue to talk about our finances, and we get all things in order. See you soon. Make a complimentary consultation, and we will connect with you very, very soon. Have a great evening.